Okay, gentlemen, I won't lie. Clean and sportsmanlike contest. You both know the rules. On this point to the end of the bout, you both obey my every command. I wish you both luck. Touch gloves, come out, box on the bell.
Coming out.
Stars in the crowd as Roy Jones's extended friendships within the sports world are on display here. Barry Bonds at ringside, brand new Atlanta Brave Gary Sheffield at ringside. Various leading lights from the worlds of rap music and hip-hop fashion and music here. And there's Jeff Finnick trying to inject some fire into the heart and soul of his fighter, Glen Kelly. At one point during his second fight with Billy Lewis, Kelly's performance was so disheartening to Finnick that he left the corner and allowed the fighter to come back to the corner between rounds without being there to talk to him. He said that got the message across.
Jeff was a very emotional fight trainer, but it also was the same way as a fighter.
Hey, if Jeff were in the ring, he'd be giving up 55 pounds for Roy Jones, and you just know he'd jump in his face anyway.
He would maybe be a bigger threat than Kelly is.
But will Kelly?
I'd like to make a note also that Jeff Finnick has just been inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame.
In Canastota, New York.
So this June, I will be up there to welcome him.
You're no doubt already a member of that Hall of Fame, Emmanuel.
Yes, and I'm very excited about being up there when he gets inducted too.
Kelly backing off as Roy Jones begins the assault with straight right hands. Again, if you haven't seen much of Jones, clearly the most unconventional style of all current great fighters. He seldom starts his attack with the jab. He'll lead with hooks, lead with straight right hands. Sometimes he'll just jump in and immediately go to infighting because he can do that too. Brilliant skills in every area, Manny.
Yeah, the thing he's got to do is to make a faster and more consistent tempo fighting this guy. This guy likes to fight in spots, very much reluctant, and if Roy fights his normal style of laid back, it could be a boring fight.
You see the size and strength of Kelly. This for Jones is like hitting a brick wall compared to some of his previous opponents. The willowy Richard Hall, for instance.
Roy Jones' skill and speed will neutralize all of the supposed advantages that Kelly has.
And certainly from that range, Kelly won't be able to bother him much.
No, Kelly, his basic fundamentals are bad. When he misses a punch, his right leg is all up in there. And once Roy sets the tempo up a little faster, it's going to be just a matter of time.
If Kelly really wanted to compete with Jones, wouldn't he, Emmanuel, have to step right up into his chest?
Yes, he would, but it's not his nature. He's just the opposite of Jeff Finnick. Mentally, physically, and talent-wise.
So abundantly clear in yesterday's conversation when every time we asked Kelly about his approach to fighting Jones and what she was going to do, Finnick would answer. And eventually you said, I can see that Jeff is fired up to fight Roy. How about you, Glenn? 33 years old and still with dazzling speed, Roy Jones.
Roy's doing just what he and I discussed earlier. To fight a guy like this, you're going to have to just fight a faster tempo because this guy's not used to not only fighting fast, he's not used to thinking fast. So just start doing a lot of different things, body movements, everything, to make him get off track and make him have to speed up his tempo, so to say.
Got this kid fighting a totally defensive fight. He got his hands kind of high. He working your jab, changing your jab up and stuff. Hands is up high. Hands is up high. Elbow leaving that body open. Trying to sit up and get by the stuff. He bring his hands down. They got his defense high. He's doing it for him in the round. He's wary as well. Let's put him backwards. Let's push him backwards to make him beat. Okay? Don't let him just be taking him. Don't let him stay in the ring and walk him, fight you and that. Put him backwards. Hold him good.
Tie him up your head. Don't let him punch you on the ropes. But Glen, one punch is not enough. It's got to be in bunches. It's got to be in bunches. Right hand, left hook, right hand. Suck it up, move it, blue.
Let's go, Red. Get out of there.
Hard right to the body by Jones.
Get out, Blue. Get out. Get out.
In what was expected to be one of his most spirited challenges a few years back, Roy knocked out Virgil Hill with a vicious body shot.
Who is the present WBA Cruiserweight Champion of the world.
CompuBox numbers in round one. Glen Kelly landed 1 of 20 attempted punches. Jones, not much faster tempo, 7 out of 34. Usually starts cautiously in round one and tries to get a look at his opponent, what he's going to do before he begins to develop more of the arsenal. Left stun Kelly.
And he should get right back to the attack again, regardless of whether he lands or not.
His title defense in Los Angeles last summer against Julio Gonzalez, who was also big for a light heavyweight, Jones knocked Gonzalez down 3 times in the 1st, 5th, and 12th rounds. But in none of those 3 instances did he step in and try to finish the fight.
No, he didn't. He's went back into defense mode right now. He's really trying to catch Kelly coming in with a counter left hook, we call a check hook, and he's really waiting on him to come in where he can take that half a scoot back and shoot the hook at the same time.
Doesn't look like Kelly wants to come in.
No, so he's going to have to change up and take it back to him again. Roy's a very active puncher. All he has to do is just be busier, and it's just a matter of time before he'll stop it.
Among the many things at which Roy is so totally adept, he feints as well as any fighter in the sport. And he can decoy you. He'll look right at the middle of your chest and hit you in the head.
Right on the
He'll look at your head and hit you right in the belly.
He's a very exceptionally talented and gifted fighter.
Right hand stuns Kelly as did the left earlier. And now Jones with a little silver.
White knows he's got him going now. All he has to do is just open up, and this fight is over with. Kelly has no real defense to hold it off Roy Jones. And Roy can do so many different things. Even though Kelly's a big guy, he's too clumsy, and everything he does, Roy can see it, so it's not going to be that effective anyway.
Looping uppercut. And again, the left hook. Kelly has dropped his right hand every time Jones has started with a left hook.
It's just about a time. I think Roy's going to put on one of his better performances tonight. He's got the perfect opponent in front of him.
Outer left hook lands flush. And again, Kelly is done. If you missed it, catch a replay of HBO's acclaimed documentary, Picture Perfect. Stories behind the greatest photographs in sports. This documentary takes a look back through the golden era of sports photography at some of the most compelling sports moments ever captured on film.
Except he tightened the rubber band now. Every time you throw a punch at him, he's flinching up. Try to keep him moving back till you can get his back on the rope, okay? Get his back on the rope so you can jam him up. You understand? Then put some leather on him.
7 punches in that round.
Come on, we're going to do 7 punches.
So one time is right. No punches.
Here's a look at the looping right hand, one of 3 punches with which Kelly appeared to be stunned by Jones in round number 2. There was also a left hook earlier than that and a quick left hook at the end of the round. Jones threw 69 punches in the round. That's a very high output for him. 13 out of 22 in power shots. Looks like he's a little more interested in a knockout tonight than has generally been the case.
I'm very impressed with Jones tonight. He's fighting a very good fight, I think. He's mixing up his attack, doing a variety of things. And Kelly is the perfect opponent for him tonight.
And you heard Jeff Fennick in the corner pleading with his fighter to throw punches. So Kelly comes out and tries to attack, but as you can see, 1 punch at a time and slow at that.
And once he starts throwing punches, it's just a matter of time before it's going to get caught. The only reason he survived this long is because he hasn't been throwing punches.
When he tried to throw a punch at the end of round 2, Jones countered perfectly with the left hook.
Speed is a big factor in this fight.
Well, when Vernon Forrest fought a very fast fighter in Shane Mosley last week, he said the way you stop speed is with the jab. But Vernon kept it working. Kelly just hadn't thrown much.
No, there's no speed at all coming from Kelly. And, you know, he's trying to think and fight an intelligent fight. And to beat Roy Jones, you just have to be to somewhat like stupid and just keep punching, keep punching, keep punching. And even then, he's not going to do it so much, but it's his best chance.
This is exactly the opposite of what Kelly acknowledged he would have to do to be in the fight. So it's easy to talk about it. Yeah, just not very easy to do.
Not that easy to do, especially with a talented fighter like Roy Jones.
Jones came close to showing us.
He never knew where Jones was going to punch from. Jones is mixing up his attacks so much. Overhand right, right hand to the rear. Now he created a leaping left uppercut right between the gloves.
A leaping left uppercut. You wouldn't teach it either, would you?
No, but he was studying the hand position. And he realized that every time he goes to this guy, he's putting his hands on the side. So Roy, being as smart as he is, he charged at it with a left uppercut.
First knockdown of the night for Jones. And that's the most spirited effort Kelly has made to actually get at Jones. And he lands a right hand to the body. And Jones, with a right cross shot to punctuate round 3.
To his corner, we punch him and we're going to let him out of it and he knocks you down. Glen, we can't stop and start. Let's put the pressure on him, Glen. Glen, what's the worst case scenario? Well, then let's do it then. Let's go for it, son. Let's not give him a chance. Let's not just let him hit us when he wants to. Make him fight us. If he's going to hit us, if he's going to knock us down, make him fight for it. Come on,
Glen, put some punches in there.
Don't say yes to me no more, son.
We can't win without punching.
I know you are, but you can do better. Glen, I see you to do yours. The right hand was there, but you stopped it.
Take the punches from out in that room in there and bring him in here.
Bring him here, son.
I can hit him hard this round. We want this round. Come on, Glen.
There's the knockdown, and as you say, a leaping left uppercut.
Anticipation of where he was going to hold his hands defensively, Roy shot the left uppercut.
Round 4 begins. Roy Jones tremendously dominant in the first 3 rounds. Harold, what's the score?
Okay, Jim. 3 rounds to nothing. 30-26, Roy Jones Jr. Jim, it could have just as easily been another 10-8 round in his second round because Roy staggered himself badly. But so far, it's the old Roy Jones showing us all the tricks, the leaping shots, the step to the right, the bobbing and weaving, the feints. It's incredible. Roy Jones Jr. putting on a show.
You heard Jeff Finnick's campaign between rounds to get Kelly to fight, a speech worthy of a Teddy Atlas, and Kelly actually landed a right hand on Jones's chin while Harold was giving us the score.
You know, Roy is noticing the position of his hands, so instead of shooting a lot of straight right hands, Roy's shooting a looping right hand, and later on you may see him change up and then start throwing the right hand right between the gloves.
Or he may leap forward and throw the uppercut with the right hand as opposed to the left.
And that's why Kelly is going to have a rough time trying to figure out what Roy Jones is.
Now this is what you ought to do against Jones. He pushes him against the ropes and bangs to the body.
He's got to be very physical. See, what made Ike Ibeabuchi so successful when he fought Chris Bird, he did not fight an intelligent fight. He just kept throwing punches at Chris Bird from all angles. He didn't try to think.
He didn't box with him.
He didn't box. He
didn't get Bird a chance to box him. He just went right at it.
Kept punching. You have to be an animal, in other words, to something.
That's right. Well, Kelly gave us about 20 seconds of it. There's some want-to there. It's just that he's slow.
Clumsy, and even to the point where if he gets hit with a punch, sometimes he may appear to be staggered or go down. It's just because of such bad balance and coordination that he has.
Roy throwing a jab. He'll spot the jab from time to time. Fight in a conventional style, as he did there. Hook right hand, stands
But it
steady.
wasn't hurt at just that. Well, it's against bad balance and coordination on the part of Kelly that makes him appear to be hurt sometimes.
Roy holding the right hand out there to invite Kelly to throw the jab so that he can counter over.
Right, and Kelly is not going to put a jab. What Roy could do would really make this a masterpiece if he could start jabbing more. That would relax Kelly a lot more, and then he could take him out with a much cleaner punch.
Well, he's jabbing more in this round.
Yes, just jab. The jab would relax him a little bit more. Jab him to the body, jab him to the head. Look to the body, shoot a right hand right on the chin.
Not once tonight has Roy Jones indulged his worst in-the-ring habit, which is to back into corners on his own and allow the opponent to have at it. It was a South Beach nightclub named Level. Monday night, Roy Jones performing his brand new rap single, That Was Then, which now appears at #2 on Billboard's Hot Rap Radio Airplay chart. A rather brilliant debut and a good sign for the possibility of big sales when the album Round 1 is released on Feb 26th.
Make him do something to open him up. Stand in front of me just waiting for a counter. They got him playing safe. Move left, move right. When he try to step to you, then get your combinations off. Okay? Try to make him commit himself.
And see how he likes it. Give him but Glen, they've got to throw more than one line. I know, come on, mate.
Disrespecting you,
Keep for me, son. Deep for yourself up. Come on now, Glen. You've got to deep for yourself up. I'm proud of you. Come on, mate.
Get out, Blue, get out. Come back, Kelly.
Emmanuel, you say Tommy Hearns would have given Roy Jones trouble. How?
No doubt. Tommy Hearns had no problems with boxers. He had problems with maybe brawlers, but Ray Leonard, Virgil Hill, Benitez, and him. Tommy was a master boxer. He would have been a big problem, I think, just style-wise for Roy in his prime.
Because of his length and his jab?
His length, and he used his height very well. And then Tommy had that very sneaky right hand that you never saw. He was not necessarily a hard right-hand puncher, but you never saw the right hand. He was one of the best guys that for deceiving the right hand. But he would have been a big problem.
Who would have countered whom?
Well, it's really difficult. Roy hasn't had that much of a challenge, and a lot is because of the talent that he has and at the time that in the division. But I think that Thomas would have been a big threat still. Even Benitez, one of the best counter punchers in the business, could not counter Tommy's jab.
Here we go.
And you look at this blinding speed and natural instincts of Roy Jones, it would have been an amazing fight to have saw. Roy Jones and Sugar Ray Leonard.
That would have been
Roy Jones and Marvin Hagler.
Roy Jones and Sugar Ray Leonard at 160 or 154. At this weight, he'd have been too strong for Leonard. It would have had to have been Hearns up here.
Yeah, but still, those guys had so much speed and talent that a lot of times they didn't really even matter to some degree. And they didn't necessarily use their weight all the time. They were just talented fighters.
So if it were to take place at, let's say, 168, what would Jones-Hopkins look like?
From what I'm looking at right here, it'll be a good fight because Hopkins didn't get to show well tonight because he fought a fighter who was very defensive-minded, southpaw, who had a good enough amateur background, which made him a little bit treacherous. And he couldn't really get in his mode. So I think we couldn't judge necessarily, him on that. But still, Hopkins and Jones would be a good fight. Jones, if he fights like he's fighting now, may be a little bit too tricky, a little bit too more elusive for Hopkins. Because Hopkins throws punches, but he likes to throw his punches and then move in to bump you with his shoulders. And Roy being smart, taking counter moves, moving back and forth, may be a problem. Speed would be a big factor.
Is Jones faster than Hopkins?
I think Jones is faster than Jones. But the Hopkins Hopkins has turned out to be a solid fighter, and if the fight gets to be into a tough neighborhood, where Hopkins has been quite a few times, he may prevail, because Jones has never been in a tough fight still.
We spend round 5 speaking in the hypothetical about other fights, because here versus Glen Kelly, it's more of the same. Jones hot-shotting and tattooing Kelly from range with various shots from all different angles. If you missed the premiere, catch a replay of Real Sports with Brian Gumbel with the Super Bowl taking place tomorrow. What better time to look at sports books and gambling? We'll go behind the scenes to reveal the factors considered in setting the line for major sports events.
Make it a two-man show for yourself. Somebody hit you. You're going to take the risk. You're going to take the risk, Glen. Of course he's hard to hit. We know what he is. But let me tell you something. Do you want to hit him? Do you want him? Well, let's get closer to hit him. You get into the Glen. He's just team in his pocket, mate. Come over with the right hand. If you miss with the right hand, come back with the left hook. Put it together, son. You're not tired.
Come on, Johnny.
Let him get in. I'll show you what happens.
More action from round 5. Jones with a barrage of right hands after a leaping left hook to begin the action. I don't think Jeff Finnick is going to have a voice by about round 10.
No, and pretty soon he may just jump in the ring and start fighting himself.
Let me show you how to do it, Glenn.
Yeah. But even that last exchange, it wasn't that Kelly was really hurt. He's just so clumsy and uncoordinated. Setting him up for something. He's not going to shoot 2 lunging body shots like that. But sooner or later, he's setting him up for some trick shot somewhere else. There's the third shot, right hand to the body.
Still looking straight at the chest.
Yep, left hand to the body.
I'm looking for a right hand over the top. Finnick finally gets Kelly to throw a jab. Body from Jones, and there.
That was the left hook trying to set him up on the chin. To me, seemingly the ideal punch for Roy to land would be a left hook to the outside. Purposely let him block that, which he will, and then shoot a straight right hand through the middle, which he hasn't thrown all night, and I think there's a good chance he could possibly knock out Kelly with that combination. But a left hook to the side and a fast right hand right through the middle.
First time all night that Jones backed himself into the corner, but Kelly couldn't pin him there.
Kelly's just a little too slow. It's very hard to fight a guy who's defensive minded almost 90% of the way.
In case you've just joined us, this is the second half of our unique Undisputed Champions doubleheader on HBO tonight. Earlier in Reading, Pennsylvania, Bernard Hopkins scored a 10th round technical knockout of Carl Daniels to retain his undisputed middleweight championship. That was at the weight limit, of course, of 160. Now, at a weight limit of 175, Roy Jones tries to defend his undisputed light heavyweight championship and is doing so with routine success against Glen Kelly of Australia. And down goes Kelly on a body shot.
Wicked body shot.
4, 5, 6, 7.
Kelly's corner screaming at referee Max Parker Jr. that they thought the punch was low. I thought it was right on the...
No, it was not low, to my knowledge. A mistake.
I thought it was illegal.
Right on the belt line.
And having hurt Kelly to the body, Jones comes back with 2 left hooks to the head. Kelly's guard is way low because Jones has hurt him badly to the body.
And Kelly is not hurt. He's just uncoordinated. Frustrated.
Keep him up. Keep the punches up.
Breathe, son.
Jeez.
Glen. Listen, let's go out in the blaze of blue. Let's go and give him some back up. Let's give him some back, Chen. Put him in that corner. Let's give him some back up. For you, brother. He said us. Let's give him some back for your own pride, huh? For your own pride.
for that shot now. You got somewhere else to go. Shorten your stuff up. Don't be so wide. All right, way to go. Give me some deep breath. Deep breath. Give me two.
You know how to train. Trust me, he's tired than us. You're not even tired. You know why you're not tired? We're going to push ourselves. If we can, that's what. But when we walk out, we don't want to think.
Here's the replay, Manuel.
Yes.
There's a right hand to the body.
Yeah, I don't think that hurt him that much.
And then here's the knockdown punch.
Perfect shot. It didn't even hit the belt line hardly on the trunks too much.
That hurt him, Manny.
Good body shot. Oh, he was hurt there. But his physical side.
They're wiping moisture out of Jones's corner.
His physical size is what has enabled him to be able to absorb those punches.
Harold, how do you have it through 6?
Okay, Jim. 6-0, 60-52. Roy Jones Jr. Gave him an extra point for the knockdown in the 6th. Gave him an extra point for the knockdown in the 3rd. Jim, in his 6th round, Roy Jones Jr. plunked Glen Kelly with about 3 or 4 real good left hooks to the body. And then when he finally threw that one that knocked him down, I mean, he had softened him up already because he had hit him so many times in the body. Roy Jones Jr. showing us every move of the book. I love that the way he wobbles that shoulder. Just keeps Glen Kelly frozen. And he comes in with a hook and the right hand over the top.
You know, this is Roy Jones Jr.'s 24th appearance on HBO. That's more than any other fighter in the history of the network. Snapping a tie at 23, which was held with Oscar De La Hoya. And I'll bet you that in those 24 appearances, Roy has won 90 to 95% of the rounds scored by Harold Letterman.
That's very impressive.
Far more than any other fighter.
He very seldom gets hit.
That punch was low.
That was low, but it wasn't dangerously low. You know, I always wanted to see what would happen if Roy got into a real tough fight. And it's amazing he's had almost finishing his career without ever being in a fight where he had to really dig down.
When you talk about how seldom he gets hit, he's the only fighter in CompuBox punch stat history to have gone an entire round without being hit by his opponent. Benny Pazienza did not land a punch in the 6th round of their fight against each other.
You know, I always say that regardless of what talent you have, it comes a fight sooner or later where your talent will not carry you there because of the style of the opponent or whatever.
Shane Mosley learned that last Saturday night. Again, once again, 3rd knockdown of the night.
He never saw it.
You know, that's pretty amazing because between rounds, Alton Merkerson, Roy Jones' hand-picked trainer from Pensacola, asked him to go ahead and get the knockout and said, we've got somewhere else to go. I don't know where else they have to go, but they can go now.
They can go. Perfect opponent. Good performance.
Maybe Roy's most crowd-pleasing performance in the past few years.
Yes, he did it. And he needed it, too.
So having watched Bernard Hopkins in Pennsylvania and having been unimpressed,
The undisputed 60-40, pound for pound, days and going down. Huh? How about your boy? What? Don't play with me. See, Bernard, that's your fault. You pissed me off. Don't get me started.
I think we just did get you started, Roy.
Yeah.
Something got him started.
Yeah.
Go get that album, baby. February 26th, round 1. Respect from the hood, baby. You know what I'm saying? Look out for the boy. Look up the album. Hey.
Larry isn't here to stop him from doing that. Let's take a look at a replay of the knockout. Emmanuel, you tell us what happened.
Roy was just getting in a mode of having a good time at this stage right here. And as I was saying earlier, this guy was surviving because he wasn't that aggressive. And once he started coming in and committed himself, Roy just took advantage of him, caught him with a nice counter punch.
Well, Roy found the trick for knocking him out. He put his hands behind his back.
He said, come on. You can't get any better than this. I hope the young fighters out here don't start trying to do that.
Harold Letterman passes me a note and tells me that referee Max Parker Jr. was about to warn Roy Jones for grabbing the ropes. He never got a chance to issue the warning. Too late, Max. It's already done. Let's go up to Michael Buffer and find out at what moment Roy scored the knockout.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Max Parker Jr. reaches the count of 10 at 1 minute, 55 seconds of round number 7. The winner by knockout victory and still the undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world, Roy